Folks, I need you to listen to me right now. Stop what you're doing and lean in close. We're staring down the barrel of a financial crisis that's happening right in your mailbox, right on your phone, and right in your wallet. I'm talking about credit card interest rates that have exploded to a record-breaking 24% or even higher. This isn't some far-off problem for other people. This is happening to you today on August 14th, 2025. This number, 24%, isn't just a statistic, it's a thief. It's a silent predator that's stealing your hard-earned future, one deceptively small minimum payment at a time. It's a system designed to keep you trapped, to make you feel like you're running on a hamster wheel, working harder and harder but never getting anywhere. This is your wake-up call. The alarm is ringing, and you cannot afford to hit the snooze button. You have to get mad. I mean, you need to get gazelle intense and furious about this. That credit card company does not care about you. They don't care about your family, your dreams, or your retirement. They see you as a number on a spreadsheet, a source of endless profit. So, why are these credit card rates so ridiculously high right now in 2025? A few years ago, the Federal Reserve started raising its interest rates to fight off inflation. Think of the Fed's rate as the base price for borrowing money. When it goes up, the cost for banks to borrow money goes up. And guess what? Banks are not in the business of losing money. They pass that cost right along to you, the consumer, and they add a huge chunk on top for their profit. Your credit card APR is directly tied to this. This isn't some complicated economic theory, it's basic math. The banks call it the prime rate plus their margin. I call it legalized robbery. While the Fed's actions were meant to cool down the whole economy, the side effect is that your credit card, which is an unsecured loan, becomes one of the most expensive ways to borrow money on the planet. Let's do some simple third-grade math because you need to see this in black and white. Numbers don't lie. Let's say you have a $10,000 credit card balance. That's a pretty common amount for a lot of folks who are feeling squeezed. At a 24% annual percentage rate, you are being charged 2% of your balance every single month. So in the first month, a whopping $200 of your payment is going straight to interest. It vanishes. Poof! It doesn't reduce your debt by a single penny. It just pays the bank for the privilege of being in debt to them. If you only make a minimum payment of, say, $250, then only $50 actually went toward paying down what you owe. Now let this sink in. If you keep making only that minimum payment on your $10,000 debt, do you know how long it will take you to pay it off? Decades. I'm not kidding. You will end up paying back more than double what you originally borrowed. You'll pay over $14,000 in interest alone on a $10,000 debt. You could have bought a decent used car with that money. You could have fully funded your Roth IRA for 2 years. You could have taken your family on an incredible vacation. Instead, that money was lit on fire and handed over to the bank, all because of that soul-crushing interest rate. Alright, enough talk. It's time for action. We're gonna lay out a simple, step-by-step plan to get you out of this mess. You can do this. The first step is the hardest, but it's the most important. You have to stop borrowing money. Period. That means no more swiping the credit cards. I don't care if it's an emergency. You need to save up a starter emergency fund of $1,000 cash first. This is baby step 1. Sell stuff. Get a side hustle. Deliver pizzas. Do whatever it takes to get that $1,000 saved as fast as you can. Step 2. List all of your debts, except for your mortgage, from smallest to largest. I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. Don't use a spreadsheet if you're not a spreadsheet person. Use a pen. I want you to see it, to feel it. List the name of the creditor, the total amount you owe, and the minimum monthly payment. Don't worry about the interest rates right now. Just list them smallest to largest. This is your hit list. This is the enemy you are going to attack with the full force of your income. Now, for those of you with a decent credit score, a tempting thought might be creeping in. You're drowning, but you see a potential life raft. You're thinking about a shortcut. It's completely understandable. The financial world bombards you with what seem like easy solutions. You can't browse the internet or check your mailbox without seeing them. Slick, enticing ads for 0% balance transfer credit cards or low-interest personal loans. They promise a quick fix, a magic wand to make all that high-interest debt disappear. They whisper promises of financial relief and a fresh start. But let me be crystal clear, these are not get-out-of-jail-free cards. They can be incredibly powerful tools in the right hands. But you have to treat them with the extreme caution of a loaded gun. One wrong move, one moment of carelessness, and they can backfire with devastating consequences. Let's break down the first option, the balance transfer card. The concept is simple. You get approved for a new credit card that offers a 0% introductory annual percentage rate, or APR, for a limited time, usually anywhere from 12 to 21 months. You then move your high-interest debt from your old toxic cards onto this new, clean one. But here's the first catch. The fine print they hope you'll ignore. The balance transfer fee. Most cards charge a fee of 3 to 5% of the total amount you transfer, so if you move $10,000 of debt, you're immediately hit with a $300 to $500 fee that's added right on top of your balance. The clock is now ticking. Your one and only mission is to pay off the entire balance before that promotional period ends. Because the moment it does, the interest rate doesn't just go up, it skyrockets to a predatory level, often 25% or even higher. Any remaining balance is now subject to this new, crushing interest rate. To even get a chance at one of these cards, you'll need a good 2 excellent credit score, typically 690 or higher. And more importantly, you need a bulletproof plan. Before you even think of applying, do the math. Take your total debt, add the transfer fee, and divide it by the number of months in the promotional period. Is that monthly payment something you can realistically consistently make without fail? If the answer is anything but a resounding yes, this is not the tool for you. Now let's talk about the personal loan. This is a completely different animal. It's about structure and predictability. You borrow a single lump sum of money from a bank, a credit union, or an online lender. This loan comes with a fixed interest rate and a fixed repayment schedule, usually over 3 to 5 years. You know exactly what your monthly payment will be, and you know the exact date your debt will be gone. You take that lump sum, and you execute a single powerful action. You pay off every single one of your high-interest credit cards at once. The chaos of juggling multiple due dates and minimum payments is gone. It simplifies your financial life instantly. Instead of 5 payments, you have one. And crucially, the interest rate will almost always be significantly lower than your credit card APRs. Let's consider a real-world example. Meet Alex. Alex is carrying $15,000 in debt across 4 different credit cards, with an average APR of a staggering 22%. He's paying over $275 every month. He's on a treadmill, going nowhere. Alex gets approved for a personal loan for the full $15,000 at a 10% interest rate over 5 years. His monthly payment is now a fixed, manageable amount. He's no longer just servicing interest, he's actively destroying the principal. He has traded financial chaos for a clear path to freedom. For those with a good credit score, 690 or higher, you could secure a rate between 8 and 12%. If your score is in the fair range, say 630 to 680, you might be looking at 15 to 20%. And while that sounds high, it's still a massive improvement over the 24% or more you're likely paying on your cards. But here is where the greatest danger lies with both of these strategies. It isn't in the fine print or the interest rates. The danger is psychological. It's a trap laid by your own mind. The moment you use that loan or balance transfer to pay off your cards, your brain registers a huge win. You see 0 balances. You feel a wave of relief, a false sense of security. And then you see it. Thousands of dollars in available credit just sitting there. The temptation to use it can be overwhelming. It's a siren's call. Your brain, which has been trained to seek the dopamine hit of a new purchase, starts whispering lies. You've been so good, it says. You've been so disciplined. You deserve a little reward. This is the critical moment. Because the debt was never the real problem. The debt was a symptom. The disease is the underlying behavior, the compulsive spending, the lack of a budget, the emotional triggers that lead you to swipe. If you only treat the symptom without curing the disease, you are setting yourself up for a catastrophe. You'll end up in a double-debt nightmare, saddled with a personal loan payment, a fresh pile of maxed-out credit cards. The tool you thought would be your salvation becomes the shovel that buries you twice as deep. This is why the final step is the most important, and it goes beyond a symbolic gesture. Yes, you have to cut up the cards. I want you to physically take a pair of scissors and destroy them, but that's just the beginning. That's step 1. Step 2 is committing to a radical change in your relationship with money. You must commit to never borrowing for consumption again. This means creating a written, zero-based budget and sticking to it like your life depends on it, because your financial life does. It means going into your Amazon, your PayPal, every online account you have, and deleting your saved credit card information. Create friction. Make it harder to spend impulsively. It means finding new, healthy ways to cope with stress or boredom that don't involve a shopping cart. And finally, it means finding an accountability partner. Tell your spouse or a trusted friend what you're doing. Give them permission to ask you the hard questions. This isn't about restriction, it's about liberation. You are not giving up the privilege of credit cards. You are gaining the power of control. You are choosing a future of financial freedom over a lifetime of financial servitude. Alright, you've faced the numbers, you've built a budget, and now you're standing at a critical fork in the road. You're ready to attack your debt, but how you do it matters. In the world of debt freedom, there are two legendary strategies, two titans of repayment that go head-to-head. This isn't just about math, it's a battle between pure logic and powerful human psychology. In one corner, we have a method that's cold, calculated, and ruthlessly efficient. It's called the Avalanche. And in the other corner, a strategy built on momentum, motivation, and the thrill of victory, the Snowball. Choosing your champion in this fight will be one of the most important decisions you make on this journey. The math nerds, the financial purists, the spreadsheet wizards, they all love the Avalanche method. And honestly, on paper, it's flawless. The strategy is a direct assault on the single most destructive force working against you: interest. With this strategy, your first step is to become a detective. You gather every single statement for every debt you have. You're looking for one key number, the annual percentage rate, or APR. You then list all your debts in order, not by size but by their interest rate, from the highest, most toxic rate down to the lowest. The battle plan is simple. You pay the absolute minimum required on every single debt except for one. The debt at the very top of your list, the one with the highest interest rate, becomes your primary target. You throw every extra penny, every spare dollar from your budget, at that single debt with ferocious intensity. Why? Because that high-interest debt is a financial wildfire, and every dollar you throw at it is like a bucket of water that stops the fire from spreading. Mathematically, this method is undefeated. It guarantees you will save the most money on interest over time, and in most cases, get you out of debt slightly faster than any other way. It's the peak of financial efficiency. Let's look at an example. Meet Calculated Chris. He's an engineer, a planner. He trusts data more than feelings. He has a good credit score, around 720. He's got 3 debts: a $10,000 credit card at 24%, a $5,000 personal loan at 12%, and a nasty $3,000 store card he got for a discount on a TV, which is now charging him a staggering 28% interest. Chris sees that 28% and recognizes it as the enemy. It's costing him real money every single day. Using the Avalanche method, Chris sets up minimum payments on his personal loan and the main credit card. Then, he channels the $400 extra he found in his budget directly at that 28% store card. He doesn't care that it's the smallest debt, he cares that it's the most expensive. It's a pure, logical attack. So if it's so perfect, what's the problem? The problem with the Avalanche method is that it ignores the single most important, most unpredictable variable in the entire equation of debt paydown: human behavior. We are not robots, we are not spreadsheets. We are emotional creatures driven by feelings of progress and accomplishment. The Avalanche method can feel like a long, hard slog through mud. If your highest interest debt is also a large one, like Chris's $10,000 credit card, you might be attacking it for months or even years, without the satisfaction of seeing a single account get fully closed. You're sending hundreds of dollars, but the balance barely seems to budge. It can be incredibly discouraging, a recipe for burnout. This is where willpower fails. This is why, for the vast majority of people, I champion the debt snowball method. Because this method isn't about optimizing interest rates, it's about optimizing you. It's all about behavior modification and the power of momentum. The snowball method is designed to create a series of quick wins that keep you motivated and engaged for the long haul. Think of it like a video game. You don't start by fighting the final boss. You start with smaller enemies, leveling up your character, gaining power and confidence with each victory. Remember that list of debts you made? For the snowball, you ignore the interest rates completely. You reorder that list from the smallest balance to the largest balance. That tiny debt at the top of the list, that's your first boss battle. You make minimum payments on everything except that smallest debt. You attack that smallest debt with every ounce of financial firepower you have. You sell stuff, you pick up extra hours, you slash spending, whatever it takes to wipe it out as fast as possible. Let's meet motivated Maria. She feels like she's drowning. Her credit score is lower, around 610, because she's been struggling to keep up. She has an $8,000 car loan at 10%, a $2,000 credit card at a painful 26%, and a $500 medical bill that went to collections. The Avalanche method would tell her to attack the 26% credit card. But looking at that $2,000 balance feels defeating before she even starts. But with the Snowball, her target is clear. That $500 medical bill. It feels manageable. It feels possible. She gets intense. She sells some old furniture on Facebook Marketplace, works 2 extra shifts at her job, and in just 1 month, she makes the final payment. Boom! One debt is gone forever. That feeling is electric. It's proof that she can do this. Now the magic happens. She takes the minimum payment she's making on the medical bill, let's say $50 plus all the extra cash she was already throwing at it, and she rolls it all into the payment for the next smallest debt, the $2,000 credit card. Her attack just got bigger. The momentum builds. After she pays off that credit card, she takes the combined payment from the first 2 debts and unleashes it on the car loan. The snowball gets bigger and faster with each debt she eliminates. Soon, she's not the person who is drowning in bills. She's an unstoppable, debt-destroying machine, building not just a healthier bank account, but unshakable financial confidence. Listen to me, and I mean really listen. We've dissected the problem, we've stared the math in the face, and we've laid out the plan. We've covered the what and the how, but all that is useless without the when. And the when is now. Every day you wait, the hole gets deeper. The interest on your debt doesn't sleep. It's a relentless machine, compounding against you, stealing from your future. The cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of any mistake you could make starting today. So now there's only one thing left to do. The single most powerful action you can take. Start, not just think about it. Actually physically, begin, right now. Not tomorrow, the land where dreams go to die. Not next week, not after your next paycheck, today. August 14th, 2025. This is your line in the sand. This is the day you change your family tree forever. I want you to think about people like Sarah, a single mom who was drowning in $50,000 of credit card and medical debt. She decided one Tuesday was her day one. She started delivering pizzas at night after her kids went to bed. She sold furniture. She cut her budget to the bone. Her friends thought she was crazy. 18 months later, she made her final payment. Today, she's teaching her kids about building wealth, not servicing debt. Her decision on one ordinary day created an extraordinary legacy. Today is your day one. The financial industry wants you to believe the solution is complicated, that you need their fancy products or a lottery ticket. That's a lie designed to keep you a customer. The real, undeniable power to get out of debt isn't external. It's internal. It is in the person you see in the mirror every morning. It's in your hands, capable of the work. It's in your mind, capable of the choices. And it's in your heart, which holds the deep burning why you're going to see this through. And let's be honest, you've reached that point. You have had it. You are fundamentally, down to your bones, sick and tired of being sick and tired. Tired of the knot in your stomach when you check your account. Tired of screening calls from unknown numbers. Tired of the feeling of running as fast as you can but getting nowhere. That feeling isn't weakness, it's your breaking point. And a breaking point is a place of immense power. You are ready to do the hard, unglamorous work because you have caught a glimpse of the freedom on the other side. And you know it is worth any temporary sacrifice. So let's channel that power. Take one small, tangible action right now. Get a piece of paper and a pen, write down your smallest debt, not the biggest, not the highest interest, the smallest. Write the creditor's name and the exact amount. Now look at that number. This is your first target. Why the smallest? Because personal finance is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. The math nerds scream about paying the highest interest rate first, the debt avalanche. And mathematically they're right. But we're not robots. We need wins. When you attack that smallest debt with ferocious intensity and knock it out, you get a victory. That psychological boost creates momentum. It proves to you that you do this. That momentum is what you'll use to roll into the next debt and the next, like a powerful snowball. It works because it changes you. So, how do we attack it? Figure out what you can do. Can you skip buying lunch this week and put that $50 toward it? Can you cancel subscription services you don't use and add that $20 a month? Can you call your cable and cell phone provider and negotiate a lower bill? And don't just cut, earn. Can you pick up an extra shift? Drive for a ride share for a few hours? List 3 things from your garage for sale online tonight? Every dollar is a soldier you're sending into battle. These small, immediate actions are what build unstoppable momentum. They are the tangible proof to yourself that this time is different. You are serious. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is your one and only life, and the clock is ticking. Be prepared. As you start, people will tell you that you can't do it. Well-meaning friends and family will say, you have to have a car payment, or everyone has debt. They say this because your intensity is a mirror to their own choices. They are wrong. They are tragically wrong. Let's define normal. Normal is broke. Normal is a car payment that costs more than a mortgage should. Normal is being one emergency away from disaster. Normal is stressed, sleepless, and scared. You were not created for that kind of normal. You were created to be weird. You were created to be exceptional. You were created to be a winner. Remember, winning with money is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. The head knowledge is simple. Spend less than you make. We've given you the plan. You have the 20%. The other 80%? That's the daily grind. That's up to you. It's about discipline when motivation fades. It's about intense short-term sacrifice for long-term freedom. It's about having the guts to tell yourself no today so you can scream yes to your future. And that future is worth it. Imagine a life with no payments. Imagine your entire paycheck belonging to. Imagine an unexpected car repair being an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. Imagine being able to give with wild generosity. Imagine building real lasting wealth that will be a blessing for generations. That life is not a fantasy, it is not reserved for other people, it is your destiny. But destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. You have to choose it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your journey to freedom begins now. Finalize that written budget. Start your debt snowball with that first small victory. Get angry at what debt has stolen from you. Get intense about taking your life back. No one is coming to rescue you. You are the hero of your own story. You are the one you've been waiting for. The fight for your financial freedom starts now. Go win.